Hey guys, in this video we are going to see the roadmap and the future state in terms of what framework we are trying to build with Cucumber JVM and Selenium Java, right? So if you hover on tutorials and navigate to Java, this option where it says Selenium and Cucumber frameworks is where you would go and you would find all the step-by-step instructions. This quick video is because I have all the code ready. Just wanted to give you a peek into the future state. Of course, we will go through step-by-step and build the framework, but this is just a peek into the future. Okay. If you have already followed the Ruby tutorials, right, it would align with that. So if you have gone to Ruby tutorials and followed the Selenium frameworks and beyond, so it will exactly align with that. Anyways, this is focused on the Java world. Okay, so the code base is all checked in. So if you go to my GitHub repository and navigate to this folder, which is Cucumber JVM examples, Cucumber JVM Selenium page object. So all the code has been checked in into this. I will try to add documentation as and when I get time. Okay. But anyways, I'm taking this opportunity right now to kind of execute and show you the code. Okay. So the first thing is I have downloaded this entire project onto my drive. Okay. So I've downloaded it. Let's see. I've downloaded it on my website on my drive. So this is the project. So since I'm using IntelliJ, I'm going to import this project. Okay, so I'm going to say import and select this, say OK, and then complete the regular workflow, right? Just accept the defaults, right, and say next, and then finish. So you can see that the project is imported into IntelliJ. I'm going to ignore all of these. Okay. Now let's see the structure, right? The structure is pretty much the same what we have till class 12, class 1 through class 12. So since this is the complete project which has data-driven framework, which has keyword-driven framework, or otherwise modular framework, and page object framework. So you might find many more files. So as we go through step by step, I'll explain them. But for now, quickly walking through, you should be having something like this. You should be having a helpers package, modules, page objects, step definitions, and under the resources you have features and test data. So features folder has all the features, right? We will in a while go through, in terms of what candidate did we choose to show the build the framework, right? Test data has some XLS file. So since many of us in the Java world use Excel sheets for maintaining data, I put some data in it, and so we will see how to retrieve data from the Excel file as well. Page objects. Page objects are well, it goes. If you have read my Ruby tutorial, there is extensive explanation on what a page object is. I'm not going to go into details at this time. So anyways, page objects are defined in this package, right? Modules are defined in this package. Helpers are defined in this package. Okay, and then step definitions in this package. So the simplest and the easiest thing, if you want to quickly execute this, is just go to the root of this folder. Okay, I can do something like this, right? Right, I'm at the root, and if you say Maven Test, right? If you just did this, the whole project will execute. Okay, so right now I'm going to hit enter at this point in time. So on your machine as well, if you have set up Selenium and you have all the web drivers available in your path, then you should see the same what is going on right now here. So by default, if no browser is specified, it picks up the Chrome browser. Okay, so right now, all of the features are getting executed inside the inside this project, right? So all of these are getting executed. Now I'll go ahead while that is continuing, right? While the execution is continuing, it might interrupt in between, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and show you what is the workflow, right? The workflow is pretty much, we'll be hitting this website, automationpractice.com. So this is a online shopping portal, right? And what we'll be doing is we'll be logging in, and then we will be selecting this menu item, and then selecting, one of the dresses. We'll be looking into the dresses catalog and then going to summer dresses. Okay, and then we'll be selecting this. We'll be saying add to cart, and then we'll proceed to checkout. Okay, and as we proceed on this page by page, right, this is a shopping cart, so we are on the shopping cart summary page right now. So we proceed to checkout, right? And then here I might enter some message. I'll say proceed to checkout, and then I agree to the terms and services, proceed to checkout. Okay, and then eventually I might select pay by check, and then I confirm my order. That's when my order on the store is complete. So we are going to replicate this whole workflow, the entire shopping cart workflow, and build the framework. Okay, so there are different features. The way I have organized this is we'll be going step by step. So the first step would look something like this, right? So the first step would look something like this. I would log into automationpractice.com, okay, and then I would hit sign in. Okay, once I hit sign in, I would log in with my credentials. Okay. So once there is a successful login, and then I sign out. So this is the first feature. All we do is sign in and sign out. And the second feature would be something like, sorry, we'll be signing in, and then we will be going ahead and selecting a dress, right? Selecting a product out of the catalog, right? That will be the second step. Then the third step would be something like, well, we might go select a dress, check out, and then verify that what we selected is what is being shown on the order summary page. So we will be incrementally building the workflow. So as we navigate from step to step, we'll be interacting with different page objects. Okay. Now anyway, so this is executing right now. Let's see where it has gone. So you can see that all of these scenarios are green. It's executing. Let it continue execution. We'll take a look at the end of it. But let's go back to the code, right? So the code, all of the page objects have been defined, right? There is a base class. The base class will hold, right, the driver and a result. I'm not using the result at this point in time, but there is a benefit of keeping this result, especially during reporting purposes. I'm not really sure if we would go into any other reports, because Cucumber JVM itself has highly rich quality reports, right? But anyways, so this is the base class, and all of these pages, right? All of these pages extend the base class, right? So the login page will extend. So the first one, right? This is the home page. Home page will extend from base class. Home page will have a couple of elements, right? As defined by the since we are using these annotations, we'll be using page factory in Selenium Java. Okay, so on and so forth, we define all the page objects. The modules, or the keywords, in other words, do certain group of actions together. So for example, if you see, let's say sign in action. Sign in action, what does it do, right? It goes into the home page, clicks on sign in button, right? And then in the email, it enters the username. Now here you can see that I'm reading the value of email from a map, right? The map being the data map, and that is actually being read from an Excel sheet, which is in this test data. I'll walk through step by step, but for now, that's the overall picture. And step definitions will look something like this. Let's take a very, very simple example of one step definition. Let's see. Sign in, sign out, right? So all of the classes will have a member variable driver, which is nothing but the static instance of the the driver which we create in hooks. Okay, this one, because we are maintaining a handle to the current browser. That is the driver. Now we do know that using the static web driver, in some cases, especially during parallel execution, might cause some issues. But anyways, we are not yet there. We are not yet executing any parallel execution yet, especially because when we want to share the state of scenario across multiple step definition classes, we will be using a concept called dependency injection. But I don't want to confuse you at this point in time. We will be getting to dependency injection once we cross these layers of understanding Selenium Java, using all the frameworks, and when we have more parallel execution and complex scenarios, we'll get into dependency injection. For now, using the static WebDriver will suffice all your needs for the entire shopping cart workflow. Okay. So data helper, what all it does is it uses Apache POI. It reads the Excel worksheet and it returns a list of hash maps. The list of hash maps, each hash map being the column header being the keys, and then the row values being the values. Okay. All right. Let's see where the execution. All right. You can see that the execution, all 9 scenarios passed. Right. Everything passed here. Right, all of the scenarios passed. So if you just did Maven Test, right, you should be seeing the same result without modifying any code. Just check out the code, do a Maven Test, and you should be able to see this result. Okay. Let's see if did I specify any output results, right? Let's see. All right. So output is being written to Cucumber HTML report. So let me go ahead and all right, it will be in the target HTML report, right? If you open the index.html, okay, you can see that all of the scenarios passed, right? So you should be able to look at this result. The JSON is also being written, right? If you see here, the JSON is being written to cucumber.json. So if you run this on a CI server like Jenkins, and if you had the plugin which reads the JSON output and produces nice pie charts, you can go ahead and take a look at that. So that's a quick overview of where we will want to get to. I will explain each of these, one after the other. But if you are impatient and you directly want to understand it yourself, feel free to check out this code and go ahead and modify it and have fun. Okay, let's see if I have missed anything here. So we discussed page objects, we discussed modules, step definitions, resources has all the features and test data, right? Okay, so some of you might be using Eclipse, right? So what if you're using Eclipse, right? So I mean, it shouldn't be any big difference, but let me go ahead. I have Eclipse on my box, so I'll import the same project into Eclipse and we'll try to run that. Okay. By the way, we have executed through command line. Let's go ahead and execute one example, right? Order confirmation through IntelliJ. So if I run this scenario now, right? So this is how it should look like if you're using the IntelliJ Community Edition, right? The Community Edition is totally free. While that is executing, I would still like to encourage all of you to use IntelliJ Community Edition, which is totally free over Eclipse. I'm not against Eclipse. In fact, I have used Eclipse for many years, but specifically for Cucumber, JVM, and Selenium Java. The integration with IntelliJ, the plugins it has, is very, very rich, especially when you have to just right click and execute, want to generate the step definition and so on and so forth. But anyway, so you can see that all 9 steps passed. Okay. So let me go ahead and import this project in Eclipse and run the same thing. Okay. So first thing, let me close this project in IntelliJ. So let me exit. Okay. Let's exit and let's go back here. Let's delete all these temporary files that get created, right? I don't want any of these files here. Okay. Now let me go ahead and open Eclipse. Okay, go ahead and select the default workspace, right? All right, so this is my Eclipse workbench. No projects. Let me go ahead and import the Maven project, right? Existing Maven project. And let me point to the directory where I have my JVM examples and page object, right? This is the one. Say OK and say finish. All right. So you can see that, you know, even in Eclipse, you should see the structure here, right? Similar structure. If you had the Eclipse plugin installed, right, the Cucumber Eclipse plugin, you should already see that the dot feature files are associated with this Cucumber icon. Okay. So let's see. Let's take order confirmation, for example, right? Let me go ahead and execute this. So I'll go ahead and say right click and say run as Cucumber feature, right? Okay. So let's see, you know, how it performs. There you go. The browser opened up and you can see that the scenario is getting executed. Let's wait until this completes. Okay. All right. Let's see. There is a Java array index out of bound exception. Let's see what's the issue here. This did not happen. You see, the reason is because my workspace, right? My workspace is located at a different location in Eclipse, whereas I'm referring to my data file from another location, right? So the workspace has to switch. So the easiest thing what I can do is I can just, you know, because I'm just reading this Excel file, let's see, the easiest is I just need to read this. I just need to provide it a path. So my helpers file, right? Data helper. Yeah, you know what? The easiest thing is, let me close this project, right? Before closing, let me see what's the workspace, right? So this is the project location, but my workspace is at a different location. So let me exit this first. Okay. So let me go here. Let me take this, right? Copy this whole project. And I know where my Eclipse is, right? I'm going to go there. In my workspace, I'm going to copy this project, okay? So that now, you know, there won't be any conflicts in terms of locating the, right? So I'm going to go ahead and say open Eclipse now. So the same workspace. The difference is now I've copied the project which was in a different folder to the Eclipse workspace. Now there are multiple ways to handle it. You know, I want to keep it simple at this time. My intention is to show that this can be executed through Eclipse as well. Okay, so let me import the project back, existing Maven projects, right? Root directory. So let's see, where is my root directory? All right, softwares, right? Eclipse, that's correct. And in my workspace, right? In my workspace, I have the page object. Say OK and say finish. Okay, it's building the workspace right now. Okay, imported. Let me open up the same order confirmation, right? And right click this, right? And run it as a Cucumber feature. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm going to go to run configurations. First thing is, you know, I don't want monochrome because I need colors, right? And I'm going to execute order confirmation.feature. That's the right one. I want a pretty output, right? Everything else is the same. I'm going to say apply. Let's see what else is missing here. Source test resources. Oh, they should go to let me go ahead and softwares, right? Yeah, it should go to target, right? Classes, no, this looks all right actually to me. Let's see what is the issue here. Class path. Let me go ahead, right click, run as, run configurations. This is the project. Source, test, resources, features. This looks all right. Let's see, the step definitions are step underscore definition. So let me give step definitions, right? Okay, let's see the class entries. The reason I'm dabbling around is I don't see the run enabled, right? Why is it? You know what, I'm going to delete all of this and let's create a new one. Delete this, right? Delete this as well and close this. Let's right click now and see what happens. Okay, all right, now I think it created. Let's see what happens. See, these kind of issues I don't see on IntelliJ, because IntelliJ is very nicely integrated. Okay, it's the same thing, it's not able to read. Now let's see, where is it trying to read the file from. So it's going to Eclipse, right? And then it's going to source, test, resources. Now I need it to go to Eclipse / Cucumber Selenium project, right? So if I go ahead and let's see, data helper, right? Okay, so this is the place, right? So I'm going to hard code it for now. I know that it is Eclipse, and then after that there is workspace, right? So Eclipse and then workspace and then Cucumber Selenium. So I'm going to just copy this here. Now ideally I should be passing this value from the Maven as a property variable, but you know what, we'll get to that. All right, so save this, run it again. Okay, fingers crossed, hopefully this works now. All right, there you go. See, it works now. So it read the Excel sheet, it has input all the files in. So if you use IntelliJ, you wouldn't go through all of these issues. It's much smoother experience with IntelliJ, especially with Cucumber. Okay, so again, if you are completely stuck with Eclipse, I wouldn't blame you. So you can see that all of the scenarios passed. So even through Eclipse, if you import this project, you should be able to execute this. Okay, so that is it, guys. This is the roadmap in the future. I will go through each of these features, explain how the dots are connected, how each of these calls, page objects, modules, and so on and so forth. Okay, all right, thanks very much.